Alright folks, this one is a cool one. This is a really cool video. I'm excited to make this one today. Basically, I'll fill you on it very quickly. New Imminence dropped today. It's today for you, but I'm recording this on the 30th of last month, which is January, okay? Basically, Eddie from Imminence, Mr. Violin, is coming on the Metal Roundup podcast tonight. Okay, not tonight from when you're watching it, from tonight from when I'm recording this. So the 30th of January. Okay, are we all with each other right now? Are you sure? Keep up, all right? Eddie is coming on the podcast. We were just gonna have a chat with him, talk about the black, yada yada yada. And then Eddie's like, hey man, we have a new single dropping on the 7th. I'm like, Eddie, brother, what? He just hits me with that. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good timing. So send us the single, Eddie. We'll all check it out and then we'll have the podcast. So basically, this is what I'm doing. I've got a SoundCloud link to the new Imminence track, which is called, I don't even know what it's called because it's on SoundCloud. It's called Death Shall Have No Dominion. And you guys are going to be watching this in the future. So it's a bit confusing. So forgive me if I get confused. Confuse me if I get forgive. So go watch it. It'll be linked in the description. New Imminence track on SoundCloud. Let's fucking go. All right, lads. We're now doing SoundCloud reactions. Any SoundCloud rappers want to get their band out there? Let me know. SoundCloud rappers band? What? You know what I mean. Oh my god. Are they gonna go full Thal? This sounds very Thal. They are Swedish. Old school riffs are back, baby. Let's fucking go! Help. Imminence are a fucking symphonic death metal band now. What's going on? Man, this is fucking intense. Oh no. That's the beauty of SoundCloud, is I can see the sound waves. Oh. Oh. And the suffering! Oh my God! Eddie, man, what the frick, dude? Oh, wow, you fucking SoundCloud rappers are getting it. Oh my God, I kind of wish I didn't check this out on SoundCloud. I didn't have a choice. It's literally the own. I'm literally getting it like 8 days in advance. I'm complaining about which platform I got it on. But I could see something big was coming by the sound waves. I could see it was like... All right, lads, this is going to be such a fun conversation later on, because myself, Steve, and Burb, who are obviously hosting the podcast that we're going to have Eddie on later, we're not going to talk to each other about our opinions of this song, and we're just going to jump on the call with Eddie, the man who wrote the song, or one of the men who wrote the song, and we're going to give him our thoughts. So we're all obviously going to be honest. I'm going to be honest anyway. I can't speak for the two lads, but I'm sure they will. They've got integrity, you know. But obviously it's a bit of a weird situation. I won't lie. It's an uncomfortable one, because we have to like give our opinions and try and be honest and not just like blow smoke, which is going to be a different one. Like, so I'm kind of in this weird predicament where I'm like, I did really fuck with it, and I'm just so interested to see what Steve thinks. I think my attention's going to be on Steve today. He didn't really fuck with the Black. It was like sonically just not something he was too into. So we're all going to be going into this podcast with a new single that isn't even released yet, and discussing it with Eddie, who wrote the fucking song. So it's going to be so interesting to like just see all of our opinions come together, and I'm really excited to actually chat to the lads about it, because I really fucked with that. Obviously, I still have some of the same like hold-ups that I tend to have when I first listened to Imminence songs. It was the same with a lot of the singles off the Black, which I ended up loving. That on a first listen, it was just like such a sensory overload. It's so heavy. There's very little space. It's like, it can be, I won't say muddy, because I think the mix is fine, but it's such a wall of sound and so heavy that you can lose yourself in the music a little bit. But I think that's why the album context made the Black so important for me, or so impressive to me, is because as singles, some of them are really good. And I found like the Death by a Thousand Cuts, they're a little bit easier to digest as singles, because they weren't as like progressive. They're a little bit more bangery, and like it was easy to just replay them. Whereas the other tracks felt like they made more sense in context of the whole album, where it was this very dark Black, for lack of a better term, way, you know, it was a very dark theme. Like, the album's called The Black, it makes sense. I feel the same kind of a little bit with this track. It's sonically very similar to what we heard off The Black. I don't know for certain, but this feels like an extension of The Black. It'll probably be some like deluxe version. Again, don't quote me on that. This is just, there's been nothing released on this yet. I've just briefly spoken to Eddie about it, and he sent me the link, so I don't really know right now. But I think the second half of the track was fucking sick. That was like instantly, oh my God, this is an absolute banger. I think this will probably lead into another track. It does give me that vibe, the way in which this actually ends the track. Overall, like, the symphonic death metal feel to it was really, really sick. I think it works really, really well with the overall darker themes and like the accented darkness to the track overall. The breakdown, goes without saying, is just absolutely filth. Part of me, like, my favorite Imminence song is probably Temptation still, which I'd say a lot of people are probably like very much so in agreement with that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, I get Temptation is a huge song, and like saying just go recreate Temptation is like obviously going to be very fucking hard to do, because it's such a big song. It's like, it's not an easy task to make a song that becomes so popular. But I just think stylistically it's quite different to what we hear today. Now, I completely understand that I give them leeway, because this album as a theme is called The Black. So the way in which all of this sound, these tracks sound, they're very dark, and they fit that name, The Black. It's very dark and, you know, eerie and depressing. So tracks like Temptation maybe don't fit that mold. So I just hope that they take this new like dark sound that they found, which I think they've almost really like found their sound. Like, I think they've really done a good job of now like implementing that metalcore sound, even like symphonic metal in parts in this track, into like the more classical orchestral feel and like the violin. They've found a way to like make that sound feel really like fresh. But I just feel like now I'd love them to bring in more riffs again. Temptation is such a sick song. I love the melodies, I love the riffs. I just feel like that to me is where I see Imminence at their peak form. So if they can bring something like Temptation and mold it with this darkness and atmosphere, I think they're going to be one of the biggest fucking bands, because they're already so fucking big. But I just think they have all the potential in the world to go and absolutely smash it. So I think they're still fine tuning it. Obviously, this is high praise. I'm still like, it was still my album of the year last year, but I just do think that they have so much more to offer when they like just lock in that proper formula. I think they're right there, but for me, it's just something slightly missing, whether it's the riffs, maybe it's too much emphasis on the heaviness and like how ridiculously low tuned everything is and how like everything is dun 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 dun. Anyway, I'm yapping. I'm fucking gonna pass out here. I'm yapping so much. So yeah, lads, go check out the podcast with Eddie from Imminence. It's gonna be on the Metal Roundup YouTube channel. It'll be linked in the description. Go subscribe, man. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers when I'm making this, so maybe we'll already be there. Who knows? Go sub. I'll see you over there. Cheers.
But yeah, you're right. We are planning to do, I mean, not a deluxe edition like we've done in the past, more like an extended edition of the Black, just because how we felt about this writing process and that we didn't really feel finished. Not in terms of like, we didn't think we had a complete album, more like we had more to give to that album. So it's gonna be a part of an extended version of the Black.